What's up, everyone? Welcome to Built for More. My name's Rocco, and this is
Jessica.
And if you found this channel, it's probably not by accident. See, we're just two adults in our late 40s that have a love for fitness, but we just got tired of all the noise out there, the highlight reels, the fitness influencers showing people how easy it is to stay fit when honestly it's a challenge. We've been in the fitness since our 20s, right? I mean, I ran into you in the gym back then, and I've done a couple bodybuilding shows and a powerlifting meet back in the day. You did a fitness show, and then, we both went our separate ways. Life happens. You went off and what did you do?
Joined the Air Force and then started a family, and then the kids came along, and
you traveled all over the world. Don't forget that.
Right.
Yeah, I went, I had kids as well, went into the practice of law, and over the years, we'd run into each other when you were back in town, but it was never at the gym then. It was usually like at a restaurant or something. So life definitely, took a toll on us over the years. What was it, a couple years ago, we kind of ran back into each other and then kind of just had this reignition of fitness, I guess I would say.
Yeah, I mean, it actually started off, in my opinion, kind of slow, just getting back into the groove of things. I relocated back to where, our hometown. Started working for Rocco, and from that point then it was tough. I mean, it actually really was tough, because it was hard for me to get acclimated again into a 9-to-5 job. I hadn't been doing that, and then trying to somehow figure out how to incorporate fitness. And it was really through you that, that kind of started that whole, kind of lit the match a little bit, and then it didn't happen overnight though, that's for sure.
Well, no, I think one, you were a competitive athlete back in the day too, so you had that competitive nature too. I think I was kind of, when we ran into each other again, you moved back here. I think I was kind of really falling back in love with fitness, because for a few years there, I was just so stuck in my career, and I definitely got out of shape. I was definitely a fat shit, I could say. I just did not feel like myself. I started working with an online trainer who's truly been a tremendous help and has completely transformed just the way I think about fitness, the way I think about nutrition, supplementation. And since then, it didn't take a lot, but I've, over time, I'm probably in the best shape I've been in since my 20s, when I was actually competing and really struggling hard to get, your body weight and your body fat to a certain percentage. I found a way to incorporate it into my life where it's not difficult. It's just part of who I am. And I think a big part of what we want to show people with this show is that, fitness shouldn't be an outcome. It should just be a part of who you are, part of your identity. Like your profession, like being a father, a mother, a husband, a wife, a sibling, a son, a daughter. That's just part of your identity. Being someone who works out or is into fitness, that's just part of your identity. I think that's a part that people forget when it comes to getting into shape or getting fit. They think they have to, I'm going to start going to the gym, they say. Just say, I'm a person that goes to the gym. It's about changing your identity. And then once you do that, that's when everything changes. Would you agree?
Yeah, in fact, I was going to say that the one thing that really kind of helped immensely when I got up here is you kind of instilling in me how to structure the day to even fit that in, because I'm such an all or nothing kind of person. And over the years, with moving around frequently attached to the military, it was hard sometimes. I didn't always have a gym that I could go to if we weren't maybe living in a city that offered that, or we were maybe overseas, or whatever the case was. So I had to kind of be more creative. And then whenever I got up here and I started working the 9-to-5, it was tough to figure out then how to fit the gym into that and when to do it, where for me it was going to be more about a structure. But I started realizing, and the one thing that Rocco was showing me is that if you put in your mind that that's a non-negotiable and you're going to do it, then it doesn't have to be at the set time every single day. I mean, there are things you could get up in the morning, and if that works into your schedule and you do that at the same time, but the lifting or any other type of exercise that you're doing, you just have to know that you want to do it and make sure that it gets done. But it doesn't necessarily have to be, you kind of have to work around your other responsibilities in life.
Good thing you have a cool boss.
Well, exactly. Yeah, that definitely does help.
But to your point, it's a choice, right? And I tell this to people that I coach. I tell them, everything we do is a choice. You can choose to work out or not. You can choose to, to hang out and drink a beer or not. It's all about choices. But the bigger piece, I think, what shifted for me, because again, I worked out. There wasn't a year in my life where I didn't work out. I just wasn't as serious or committed to it because I just always said, like, I work out. I didn't tell myself I'm a fit person. So if you tell yourself I work out, then sure, if I go to the gym and do a workout, then I did what I said I was gonna do. But if I say I'm a fit person and I don't look or feel fit, that creates this identity disconnect. So then my mind starts telling me, well, hey, you say you're this type of person, but your actions aren't in accordance with it. So once you shift that mindset to say, I am a person who is fit, then you start it's true, like I just start looking at food differently. Like I don't get as hungry, like I don't crave the things I used to crave because I've changed my identity. But before, a few years ago when I made that shift, it was like, I worked out, so I'd go have pizza. It was like, cool, or I'd go have a boatload of sushi or a burger because I did what I said I was gonna do. I wasn't violating my identity because I didn't build the identity yet of being a fit person, if that makes sense. I think people should understand, like if you truly wanna make a change in your life, be it fitness, your career, your faith, your relationships, anything, you have to change your identity first. That's where it all stems from.
Well, I also think too that once you kind of go into it with more of a realistic approach and,
Realistic, sure, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
That's how I enter
No, I
everything,
know, I'm kidding.
is
You're
with a
totally
realistic
kidding.
approach. But you don't get so strict on yourself as far as like everything has to be done, at this time, and then, something comes up, which it's naturally going to come up, whether it be with work, with children, with other responsibilities, volunteer, whatever happens. And you can't go at that one time, and then it kind of throws everything off. So, like I said, it being more flexible to that. As you continue with that, it is interesting then, at that point, then you do start even naturally looking at food even differently.
Yeah.
And you realize that when maybe in the beginning it was more of a forced, oh, I can't eat that, or I'm not going to eat that. Whereas as that, your whole mindset starts to shift, as it becomes more of who you are, and then at that point you don't even necessarily, not that you don't crave, sweets, but it really does change the way that you look at it and how you approach even your diet and how you eat.
Yeah, I mean, take for example, like I was never a person that drank like a lot. Like I would have beer with friends or go on a trip or like for a business function, but it's now we're sitting here in April, towards the end of April. I haven't had a drink of alcohol since August, not because I said I'm gonna stop drinking, it's just my identity has become that of a fit person, and so in my mind, a fit person doesn't drink alcohol. And I never went into that saying I'm gonna stop drinking, because I never really drank a lot anyway. I have a beer here or there, but I don't even think about it. When I'm out at a function, like I don't ever like grab wine or a beer. Like I used to love wine, but it's because it's not part of my identity anymore. And I think that's what we really hope to show people with this. Hopefully entertain you too, because we do some dumb shit, and we're, I'm sure, awkward on camera, and you're definitely awkward on camera because you haven't figured this part out yet. So I've done a lot more on camera than you have, but
and we're definitely going to argue. Yeah,
definitely. We do that a lot, and I think there's a part that we want to just inspire people. Truly, I'm going to be 49, you're going to be 47. You can still do it. It's never too late to start, and if this inspires one person to make a change, then all the hours we put into this show will definitely be worth it. And I hope you enjoy watching. There's going to be each week we're going to have an episode with workout clips, maybe some food clips, just discussions. Who knows what it's going to be, because we haven't figured that out yet. So come along for the ride. It should be fun. It'll be awkward at times, I'm sure, but we'd love to have you along for the journey.
The last thing for me is that I genuinely want to leave this in the Lord's hands and to see what His plan is for it, and to see how this shapes up and what He wants to do with it.
Yeah, hopefully it'll inspire some people out there, and hopefully it'll create an impact for even one person to make one change in their life, because it takes one to change it all. It starts with one person. So hopefully this is the catalyst. If not, we're going to spend a lot of time having fun in the gym and being those awkward people that record videos in the gym and do dumb shit. But hey, what else we got to do?
Yeah.
I mean, who cares about practicing law and running a law firm? I mean, that's just secondary now.
It is secondary.
and hopefully we won't kill each other on camera.
We won't.
No.
We won't.
No, definitely. So again, thank you all for watching. Definitely, if you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel. We'll be doing weekly episodes. Leave a comment, shoot us a message. We appreciate all of you, and we hope to inspire you to be built for more. All right, well, you made it this far to the towards the end of the video, and we wanted to wrap up all of these episodes with a little tip or a piece of advice or something we've learned over the years. And due to the fact this is our first episode and we're just figuring this out as we go, one thing we did with this show is we just got started, and that's the piece of advice I think I want all of you to take this week is just get started with whatever it is you're trying to do. Whether get in shape, build a new business, improve in your career, improve in your relationships, your spirituality, whatever the case may be, just get started. Don't overthink it. Don't overplan it. Just take the first step, and the first step starts in your mind.
It does. It does. You have to make the decision and then just go with it. And it's not going to be something, I don't believe, that's going to come naturally. It is going to take time for that to kind of be more ingrained in you. But when you do make that first decision, and whatever the small step is, I mean, again, there's a Bible verse that speaks of, this is a paraphrase, but don't despise the day of small beginnings. And that really is so true. Everybody wants to start off at a certain level, and they want to skip over, the beginner part or the basic part of learning, the skills, and they want to get to like the expert level. And it just doesn't, that's where I think a lot of it where we go wrong, and that I can look back on my life and feel like that's kind of a part that I missed when I was in my 20s, and that's something I've learned.
No, I agree. I think, back then, even into my 30s, like I would always want to like do the hard thing, like put the plan in place, like, I'm going to start a new workout this year. So I'm going to go, buy the new supplements, buy the new workout program, buy the new equipment. And it's like, okay, but if I wasn't, one, like we talked about earlier, I didn't change the identity. Two, I didn't have the right frame of mind. Then if I look back like a couple of years ago when I kind of started re-engaging with fitness, I just started walking every morning. In addition to everything else I did, like lifting weights and my diet, and just, I told myself I was going to be consistent for a year. I just took the first step and started walking every morning. In doing that, 45 minutes every single morning, haven't missed a day, has completely changed my outlook on life, my body, my health, my wellness, everything. But looking back, I didn't do that in the past. I was always trying to do the next big thing, the next cool toy, the next cool program, the next great supplement, and it didn't work. Like I said earlier, I didn't have the identity first, and two, my mindset wasn't in the right place. I didn't really learn. I mean, I've always been into personal development. I didn't really learn about the power of your mind probably to my late 30s. Really understood it at a deep level. I mean,
it's kind of a trial and error in some ways, and it does take time. I mean, Lord willing, that we're given, whatever time we're given, and whatever path He's leading us down. But that's also something too that I realized is I completely lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry. That truck threw me off huge because I knew you were gonna like.
No, go ahead. We can keep going. So.
I really was thinking about something that you were saying. Oh, I was going to say though about the back in my 20s, whenever I had access to the gyms, and like Rocco was talking about with buying the supplements, getting the plan in place, having people that I knew at that time that could help to train me. My world was flipped upside down whenever I was affiliated with the military, and we would move somewhere and we weren't in like a town that had a gym that I could easily get to, especially when my kids were little. So I really had to kind of adjust my thinking, and instead of doing everything and getting a plan in place, I did have to just take the first step. And a lot of times I was doing stuff in my house. I would go and walk around the house like to get laps in if my kids were really little and I couldn't get them in the stroller, if they were sleeping, and I had to capitalize on that time that they were. Now, I didn't work at that time, but it really was about adjusting and just being flexible and making the decision and just taking the first step, whatever that looked like, without overcomplicating and over planning it.
Yeah, it really is that. And I don't want to belabor the point, but I'll kind of end with this, one of my favorite parables from a book, the boy, the horse, the fox, and the mole. I think that's what it's called. And I heard it on a podcast, and it talked about one part in the book where he says the boy's at kind of a crossroads at the edge of the woods, and he says to the horse, I can't see the path. And the horse looks at him and says, well, can you see the next step? And the boy says, yes. He's like, well, just take that. And that is the simplest advice for life. You're never going to see the whole path. You're never going to see, 100 yards downfield, but you can see the next step to take. And as long as you keep taking that next step, the progress you will make will blow you away when you look back. When I left corporate America to start a law firm, I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't have any lawyers in my family. I said, okay, I'm just going to quit my job and go start a law firm. And I'm like, okay, shit, what do I do? Next step is just talk to people. So I just talked to people and told them what I was doing. And then here we are, now we have a bunch of people working there and we're having fun doing it. So it is really just that simple. Just take the first step. Now that saying all that, I guess we're at the end of the episode. What would you say? Yes. Did you have fun on this first episode?
I had fun. My main concern, though, is that it's helpful, and like you said earlier,
Yeah.
if it helps just one person
Yes.
and provides some sort of motivation and inspiration for them, that's all that matters.
Yeah, and if there's anything you'd like to hear us discuss, or any comments you have, or if you just want to say something funny to us, leave it in the comments below on the video. And if you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel, and truly appreciate all of you tuning in, watching our awkwardness, her awkwardness especially, because we're not really good with social media or video, but we're getting there. We're getting there, I promise you.
Baby steps. I'm taking the first step. This is you're literally seeing this in real time.
This is the first step. So
yes.
hopefully these will get a little bit more crisp as they go, but if not, that's okay too, because it's not meant to be scripted. It's not meant to be polished. This is real life. I mean, we're sitting here at a Panera Bread on a Saturday afternoon when it's windy, rainy, and every big truck has driven by us behind here. We've had to restart this thing probably 4 or 5 times, and you peed your pants. So all that happened today. So that's our lives. That's how we have approached our late 40s. So hopefully this was inspirational and entertaining to all of you. And again, I'm Rocco, this is Jessica, and we're built for more.